this on? What should I do to make it on?
It's a very small button.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. Trying to, there we go. Everyone can hear, correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Puranamanina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashaadhyayinim Amba Tvamanusandadhami Gite Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudramarutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadhakramopanishadaihi Gayantiyam Samagaha Dhyanavasthita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyantiyam Yoginaha Yasyantanna Vidussura Suraganaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Now, the Dhanyashtakam is extreme Vedanta. In the sense that it unequivocally states the truth of the message of the Upanishads, the vision of the self, how it is gained, etc. There is no negotiations when we talk about the dhanyas. Dhanya means those who are jnanis. Now, there is no negotiation because we are looking at what they already see. What has gone into their seeing this, we don't see. We only see what they see now, and what they see now, we cannot see. No matter how hard we try to see, there is not much of a relatability, at least in the beginning. We can appreciate them as a possibility, but if we are honest, we have to admit that it's a little disheartening when you hear about the wise ones, the enlightened ones, and the ones who have left everything behind. Tyaktva, tyaktva, tyaktva. Verse number 3, Dhanyashtakam, tyaktva, begins with tyaktva. From tyaj, to give up, having given up. Meaning, even before they were jnanis, what did they do? Give up. Give up this, give up that, give up, give up, give up. And the only thing I can give up on is giving up. Okay? I can easily give up on giving up. But other than that, don't ask me to give up anything. No, it's like that small child. She was about 8 years old. and on the birthday got a lot of presents. And then her parents said, you are so fortunate, you are so lucky, you have so many things. You have your sister to play with, you have so many gifts, grandparents, uncles, cousins, friends, so many things. Wouldn't it be nice to donate all the toys to children in need? Wouldn't it be nice to donate it to another child of your same age who has the same birthday? And to her credit, she thought about it. And then she said, Mom, I'm not there yet. So, when we hear about the dhanyas, tyaktva, 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 then this is how we feel. Bhagavan, we are addressing mom pop of the universe. Bhagavan, Bhagavati, what? I ain't there yet. I'm not there yet. But still, what do I want? What do I want? I want this knowledge. I want to have the knowledge, and then what? I want to have everything else too. Why should there be a choice? Why should there be tyaktva, tyaktva, tyaktva? Why should I give up? I don't want to give up. What I want is to retain everything that makes me happy. Because what if Vedanta doesn't make me happy? Then at least I have a few things here to rely on, to fall back on. This is what is called plan B. So samsara I will retain. The life of becoming I want to retain. This is plan B. Plan A, of course, is Vedanta, but I need to have something to fall back on. I'm not there yet, mom and pop of the universe, but I still want this knowledge. I too am a mumukshu. I too am a jignasu. Mumukshu, seeker of freedom. Jignasu, seeker of jignasa. That didn't help. Okay. Seeker of knowledge. So this is what I want. Then I am a seeker. I'm seeking many things at once. And you tell me that in order to seek this knowledge, I have to have a complete and total makeover. I have to give up everything. I have to rebrand myself as a bhikshu. Sanyasya shravanam kuryat. Please do your shravanam after taking sannyasa. Sannyasa is a daunting, very daunting. And this is the quandary in which 90% of the population is in. 90% of all jignasus, mumukshus, they don't want to do this full time. They want to just dabble in Vedanta, like a little part-time dabble. Little bit of samsara, little bit of moksha at the same time. It's like a buffet, right? Yeah, you just pick and choose. Here, this is what I want. It's very disheartening. Everything you give up, this you give up, that you give up, then you give up that, and then you give up the giver-upper. All these things are there. And then, therefore, the Bhagavad Gita softens the blow in a very, very big way. And the best contribution of the Gita is to make place for the people who are ubhaya bhrashtas. What is a ubhaya bhrashta? Neither here nor there. Which comprises most of the people. Neither here means cannot just do tyaga, leave everything, go to the teacher, go to the Gurukula, full-time student, meaning you can't do anything else. Other than studying, there is no other activity that is there. Full-time student, full-time Vedantin, it's a very daunting thing. As soon as I hear the word Vedantin, I want to become Vedanta out. I want to go out of Vedanta immediately. So this is one side of the thing. And then at the same time, I'm not happy in samsara. I know too much. I have vairagya. I have mumukshutvam. I have some qualifications, others are yet to be gained, and I am not happy with malls, balls, and potlucks. This is not what I am happy with. I don't belong either here or there. And what does Mother Gita do? Gives a big hug and takes everyone in. With her big heart, embraces everybody in the Bhagavad Gita. Thanks, this is all what is the avatara of Lord Krishna is about. It's about making this knowledge reachable for everyone wherever you are. What is the use of the knowledge which is staring at you from a height that you cannot even relate to? What is the use? Yes, it's good for some people somewhere, some ideal, typical people, but not for me. Who am I? I'm a complex creature. That's why I'm full of complexes. That's why I'm not happy either in samsara or or with a full-time dedication to moksha. Neither of those I'm able to commit to. And then this is where we are, this is where the Bhagavad Gita helps to make this real, to validate 95, whatever, 99% of the population, not 99% of the world's population, 99% of mumukshus and jignasus, people who know that we are seeking something other than just this humdrum. 90% of those individuals are not in a place to commit. And that's why, taking Arjuna as an example, the Bhagavad Gita has been given forth as an Upanishad in her own right. That's why it is frequently called Gita Upanishad. The message of the Upanishad is in the Gita verbatim, full time. In fact, many of the verses of the Bhagavad Gita are lifted from Kathopanishad. Just lifted. And that they can do because knowledge does not have ownership. And so, we may not be able to relate to the characters in the Upanishad. Nachiketa. They say he was a Kumara. Tamha Kumaram Santam. Right in the beginning it says. Kumara means a small child. Not yet attained puberty. This is not even a tween. Yes. Young boy. So we are thinking maximum 10 years old, 8, 9 years old. And Yama gives him all these things to deter him to ask for this knowledge, from asking for this knowledge. No, I'll give you heaven, you can go to heaven. He says, yeah, that's a good thing, heaven. Okay. One good advantage, Swarge Loke, Nakinchana Bhayam Asti. There is no fear over there. That's good. That's nice. Why? Na tatratvam. You don't have entry over there. In front of the gates of Vedic heaven, a little board is there. What is the board? All are welcome. And then there is a picture of Lord Yama with a cross on it. Yes. Except Lord Yama. Na tatratvam. And once you enter the gates of Swarga, there is a time warp. You stop aging. Na jaraya bibheti. You can leave all your lotions and potions for every notion about about yourself that you have behind. You don't need them. Najaraya bibheti. Jara means geriatry. That's how the word geriatry has come from word jara. Natatratvam narajjaraya bibheti. And not only that, you won't ever have a stomach upset. Oh, very nice. Even if I eat street food in India, no problem. You will not have stomach upset. How come? Because you don't eat. What? No, heaven doesn't look that attractive anymore. How will I fill my cravings and my hunger? Just by literally inhaling the food. Not figuratively inhaling the food, literally inhaling the food. You fill up your hunger. Just like Bhagavan, you take the laddus and go pranaya swaha, palaya swaha, and then you have offered 108 laddus, and how many come back? 108. If Ganesha started to polish off a few laddus, nobody will make 108. What if he eats them all? So, from afar, you go like this, here, take the smell, you offer the aroma. And in Devaloka, in Swargaloka, you also have that same ability to just go walk by the place where samosas are being made and then just inhale and go, ha, nice, I'm full, thank you. Would you like a samosa? No, I have already eaten, you will say. Ubhe tirtva, same thing with drinking. You just have to look at water and you are satisfied. Ubhe tirtva, having crossed both, what? Ashanaya pipase svargatigo modate, lokatigo modate svargaloke. So the person, divested of all this old age and all, they rejoice for a little bit of time. Only a little bit of time? Yeah, because it costs money. Heaven is not free. Costs money. What is the money here? What is the currency? Your own punya. Your own good merits take you there, and then each time you attend a concert, each time you inhale something nice, then there is a little cutting, and then after that, kshine punye, when the punya runs out, martyalokam vishanti, enters, is reborn in the world of the mortals. And so, everything that is offered in this universe, it is temporary. And so, we cannot have this understanding that Nachiketa did at the age of 8. He told all this to Lord Yama. He says, Jarayanti, Tejaha, Indriyanam Tejaha Jarayanti. And how much to enjoy? The eyes start to get weak, the ears don't hear, everything. The tongue, you have to keep putting more and more salt in the food, you can't taste anything as one grows older. And then like this, what is the use of sensory pleasures? When you read Nachiketa saying all this, you feel like running away. Because you are not there, that is not where you are. But in Arjuna, you find a prototype that is very relatable. Aha, ye hamara aadmi hai. This is our fellow. This is our fellow. We can, he makes mistakes. I also make mistakes. He falls all over himself. I also fall all over myself. I trip all over myself. He says the wrong things. When he opens the mouth, he says the wrong things. In fact, that's how chapter 3 starts, with him saying the wrong thing. I also say the wrong thing. He seems to ask lots of questions. I also can't wait to ask questions. Nachiketa didn't have any questions. He just, got up and left. Finished. After the teaching was over, he said thank you to the teacher, Dhanyosmi, Kritakrityosmi, and got up and left. Arjuna lingers, just like me. And so, in Arjuna, we find a relatable fellow. Even more relatable is the predicament in which he finds himself. And that is an unenviable predicament. An unenviable predicament of that causes great distress and anxiety. What is this distress about? There is a dharma sankata. Sankata means a kind of a being on the precipice, a difficult decision. And what is that difficult decision? He has to fight a war against his own people. He doesn't understand that this phrase, against my own people, these 4 words are his debacle. He doesn't understand. He just takes it for granted that these are the people related to me and they are family. We give family a big pass. Whatever they do, even if it's not okay, ultimately should be okay. Why? Because they are family. We give them a big pass. And so he is in what we would call these days a toxic relationship with Duryodhana et al. And then what are they doing? They're taking advantage of him. They have tried to kill him and his brothers. They have taken away everything they own, starting with the kingdom and ending with the wife. They've taken away everything. They have nothing to call their own. And then even when Lord Krishna goes and tries to negotiate, this is not an ordinary person. Vyasa does not present Krishna as another human being. Arjuna uvacha, Sanjaya uvacha, Dhritarashtra uvacha, and what else? Shri Bhagavan uvacha, not Shri Krishna uvacha, no. It's presented as the Lord. This we have to be very mindful of. And if he is the Lord, then that means that if he goes to get something accomplished, then it should get accomplished because he is Bhagavan. But Bhagavan also comes back with a sad face. How is this possible? How come Bhagavan could not stop this war? This shows the Prabala Prarabdha of Arjuna and Duryodhana. The strong Prarabdha. What is Prarabdha? The karma. And who created karma? Who created this karma and karma phala? Bhagavan. So Bhagavan cannot go against his own creation. Therefore Bhagavan also comes back unable to mediate, unable to bring Duryodhana to his senses. Unable to do that. It's not that Arjuna suddenly had some kind of a change of heart and he's, sometimes these academic renditions of the Bhagavad Gita leave a lot to be desired. And they say Arjuna is a pacifist. He's not a pacifist. In fact, all 5 brothers and even the mother, Kunti and Draupadi, they were all very, very bloodthirsty. Not one time, it was 12 years before the war, 13 years, before the war was fought. 12 years of forest living as a payback for losing that game of dice, which was of course a doctored game of dice. And then 1 year of incognito living, not one time did Arjuna say, you know what, let this war go. I'm kind of enjoying the forest life. There is a lot of shanti. I am with the birds. And I have met lot of sadhus who are giving me Atmajnanam, under whose feet I can study. Krishna cancel this war. In fact, there is no need to cancel the war. I just won't show up. Krishna would have said, Tathastu, no problem. But the whole time they were there, they were keeping the powder dry. They were plotting, they were seething, they were just completely beside themselves with outrage. During this Vastraharanam, where Draupadi was the wife of the Pandavas, was publicly shamed by Dushasana trying to remove her sari before Krishna comes to action and multiplies the sari through a AI formula. Yes. You know what AI stands for? Another Ishvara these days. That is what it is. So then her modesty is intact, and then Dushasana tries another tactic in this public sabha, in this assembly. He gestures to his lap and asks her to come over and sit on her lap. This makes her so livid on that day itself, and she's angry with her husbands. 5 of them and not one of them, they all have staked her as part of the game of dice because they have considered her their personal property. She's outraged. She's absolutely outraged because nowhere in the Shastra does it say children, spouse, etc. are personal property. In fact, ancient India was far, far ahead of even Victorian England, where the women were considered property. Women were not considered property, neither were children. But these fellows with locks on their mouths stood there just helpless, as though they were handcuffed. They could not meet her gaze. So that moment, when he made this lewd gesture in front of everybody, and she's a princess, she's not an ordinary, this would have upset anybody. But she's royalty, we have to understand that. She's a queen. She grew up as a princess. So then, because of that, she said, I am not going to comb my hair unless I get an infusion of hair gel made with this fellow's blood that has been drawn from his thigh, the same thigh where he said, come and sit on my lap. Does this, and then all the 5 husbands said, yes, we are very sorry, we could not protect you, but we will get that hair oil infused with his blood. Does this sound like the words of a pacifist? Not at all. Absolutely not. Then the war is declared, and even when the war is declared, this fellow is ready to go. And by some grace, Lord Krishna is in the driver's seat, thank God. Lord Krishna is driving his chariot, he forgets even who is driving his chariot. No respect. Hey Achyuta, hey you, chauffeur, James. What? Senayor ubhayor madhye ratham sthapaya me. Me ratham. You see? My chariot. You're just what? Driver. You're just the chauffeur. And your job is to take me where I want to be taken, not where you want to go. You are a servant. You are in my control. Me ratham, my chariot, sthapaya, put. Where? Senayoho, ubhayoho, madhye, in between the 2 armies. Yavadetan niriksheham yodhukaman avasthitan kairmaya saha yodhavyam asmin rana samudyame. Yodhyamanan aveksheham ya ete atra samagataha. Dhartarashtrasya durbuddhehe yuddhe priyachikirshabah. These people who are battle friendly, bloodthirsty fellows. Dhartarashtras, son of Dhritarashtra, blind, born blind and blinded by deluded love for his children, took the wrong side, even though he was an elder. So these sons of Dhritarashtra, no shame they have. And then, what have they done? They have assembled this makeshift army. It is said that Duryodhana just plucked people off the fields they were working. The Mahabharata will tell all this. Kidnapped them, abducted them when they were winnowing the grains or planting something. They were just doing this, or some blacksmith, hitting some metal. Suddenly, just taken and then given some livery, uniform, and then made to go into the battle. The fellows did not even know how to button their shirts properly. Some kind of riff-raff army he collected, and look at this. Put me in between the two armies so that I can examine these armies. After all, I am the commander of this army. Let me see. Who is it who dares to fight with me? Who is it who has dared to assemble here? And what does Krishna say? He could have protested. He could have said, this is not how you address me. What do you think of yourself? This is not how to talk to me, okay? I know, I'm kind of a friend to you and a mentor and all that, but still, this is not cool, He doesn't say that. In fact, he doesn't say a thing, not a word escapes his lips. Quietly, he does as he is told, but being Krishna always stands in three bends, means there is always a twist. Yes. So he does this task with a twist. What is the twist? He puts the chariot in between the two armies, all right, but he inches the chariot towards where all the elders are standing. He says, lo, behold, I have done exactly what I have said. Arjuna, standing there, loses all his aplomb. Just 2 minutes before, he was beating his chest, beating the kettle drum, blowing his conch shell. And declaring to the world, look, I'm going to fight this war, I'm going to beat them, teach them a lesson. And then suddenly he loses the wind from his sails. He is shocked, eye to eye with Dronacharya, in whose lap he played, who's a guru, who has the status of teacher. Who else? Pitamaha. Who is Pitamaha? Bhishma, the grandsire of the clan. He too is on the wrong side. There's nobody on his side. He's alone, unfriended by everyone. Drona's another Acharya is there, Kripacharya, Dronacharya, and all these stalwarts, warriors, kings that he knew, his elders, are all on the wrong side of the line. Courage deserts him. And this becomes the context of the Bhagavad Gita. And the reason why we find it relatable is because the incident here is extremely relatable. Definitely. Everywhere there is a disenchantment, there is pain, there is sorrow, there is conflict in every heart. Conflict between dharma and adharma. Conflict between what I have to do and what I have not got to do. Conflict between the correct choices and the wrong choices. And this is there in every heart. Therefore, Arjuna's predicament becomes very, very relatable. He questions himself, he questions the situation, and he also questions the need for this needless conflict. Arjuna is not conflict averse. Any other war, he would have made short shrift of them and come back. But this war is too close, too personal to be objective. And when objectivity is lost, samsara makes an appearance. In fact, subjectivity is the synonym of samsara. When I lose the ability to see things as they should be. He personalizes the war and the warriors. He does not see them dispassionately. He does not see Duryodhana as a king with ill will who is tyrannizing the population. He does not see this. He sees it only as his cousin. And so sits and weeps in the chariot. Then this is the first chapter. In the second chapter, the two main topics are given by way of the teaching. The first is the vision of no division is given very, very beautifully. The vision of no division here means the vision of Vedanta, that all these warriors assembled here are powered by one Atma, that is the I in you, that is the I in he, she, it, they. This is what Lord Krishna tells Arjuna. That's the I in me, the I in you is the I in all of the people. And this is who they are, this is what they are. The names and forms may differ, but the Atma does not die. The form may die, the name may die, the Atma does not at all die. What does the Atma do? It is not created, it does not die, it is not born. For everything that is born, death is certain, but the Atma is not born, so therefore it does not die. Who is this Atma? You. You are this Atma. You are not subject to birth, death. You are not subject to destruction. And if you are not subject to destruction, all these kings that you are afraid to quote unquote kill are also not subject to destruction. And going to the 11th chapter, he says, look through these divine eyes that I have given you. Look at my form, and my form includes the destruction of all these wrongdoers. And then look at these wrongdoers, they're already killed. You just have to pretend kill those that have already killed. You don't have to kill anybody. You're worried about killing. That's because you're taking on this agency which is not belonging to you. The sense of agency that you're taking on is not intrinsic to this I, which is free of being either an agent or the victim of circumstances, of action. You are not a victim of other people's omissions and commissions. You are not a victim of your own omissions and commissions. Neither are you the doer, the agent of your actions. This, if it is clear, then there is nothing more to do other than to finish what you have started. You started this war now, it is there, finish it, because now you know that all this is just as though. And then this was the vision, and the lifestyle was also given. A lifestyle conducive to leading leading one to this vision is also given in detail, and the name of that lifestyle is Karma Yoga. It is also given. Two definitions of yoga we see in the 48th and 50th verses of the second chapter. Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. First, before that, samatvam yogaha uchyate. You are unbalanced, you are off kilter, Arjuna. You need some balance. How do I get this balance? Have equanimity in how the results of actions are received. Have equanimity with regard to receipt of the results of action. When pleasant comes, also you say, okay. When unpleasant comes, also you say, okay. Is that easy to do? Say no, so we can move on. It's not easy to do. How can I say okay to everything? Therefore, we have to convert whatever comes into prasada, that which the Lord has given. Just like when you go to temple, one day you get laddu, very nice. Next day, you just get some water. That's all it is. You can't fight with the priest. Where is the laddu? Last week I got laddu. And same thing. Even in Christian service, church, etc., they give the body of Christ, blood of Christ. Like this they give. Bread and wine is given. And then you don't say that person had a bigger sip. I want a bigger sip. Whatever comes, you take. Because body of Christ, blood of Christ means what? It is prasada. We call that prasada. The word prasada has no translation actually. Prasada, meaning that which has come from God is called prasada. Ishvara prasada. So since I can't be okay with whatever comes, I try to convert whatever comes as Ishvara prasada, a gift from Bhagavan. Certain things are difficult to see as gifts. Disease, very difficult to see as gift. How to see it as a gift? Here I am. Till yesterday I was okay, and then today I have something which barely has a name, let alone a cure, which people are still researching, and then I have this condition. What to do? How to see it as a gift? It is a gift. It is definitely a gift. You have to get to that place of emotional maturity to gain that samatvam. Like that king who kept saying, it all happens for the best. It all happens for the best. All his ministers were very annoyed because anything that they went and reported, what would he say? It all is for the best. It's for the good of everybody. Goes hunting with his minister, goes for some R&R, goes hunting, and then they just, what happens? Just trips and falls, cuts his big toe. And the minister says, Maharaj, oh my God, you're bleeding. It's all for the best. And the minister tends to the wound. And then they can't hunt anymore. His leg is hurting. They just see a small clearing and go to sleep. It's already late. When they wake up, they are surrounded by a circle of people drumming. Oh, how nice, a drum circle. Well, well, not quite. In the middle, there is a big cauldron. Hot water, garam masala, salt, all these things are there. Waiting for the protein. This is how Americans talk. They can't say animal. All the animal names are also changed. All right, because we can't really confront the fact that it is that I'm eating this. So they're waiting for the protein, and the protein happens to be these two people who are sleeping. Yeah. sleeping protein. And then they only need one. They don't believe in wasting, okay? Why cook two when the one can suffice? And so they tell the minister, somehow they talk through some sign language. Who is the most important among the two of you? The minister happily points to the king. He is. And what does the king say? It's all for the best. King doesn't get annoyed. King says it's all for the best. And then, like this, it goes on. And then they say, okay, the medicine man has to check you out to make sure that you are a worthy sacrifice. And what does the medicine man say? Oh my God, he's cut. This is what is called leftover. He's a leftover because some blood has already gone. And the king says, you can sacrifice him. And the minister says, what? But they say, for our gods, the second best will simply not do. Both of you are free to go. And the king again says, what? It is all for the best. Very annoying, but true. We have to get to this place. This is what is called prasada buddhi. Samatvam, prasada buddhi, the attitude that everything is a gift from God, leads me to have glad acceptance. First acceptance, okay? Then we'll work on glad later on. Perhaps in the next retreat. So, give ourselves a lot of time. We work on that later. So, therefore, we have this prasada buddhi, because of which there can be some equanimity. Freedom from guilt and hurt. I did not cause this. I did not do this. Result of action comes from Bhagavan. There is a little bit of inner space as well, which is a very wonderful thing. Then the second definition of karma yoga is also given, that this karma that is done for the sake of internal maturity, that is what is karma yoga. When karma becomes a yoga, a dharmic lifestyle, where karma action is done not for the sake of the results of action, but for emotional maturity. Without dharma, there is no karma yoga. Otherwise, every pickpocket will be karma yogi, right? The pickpocket can say, I am a karma yogi. Why? Because when I put my hand in your pocket, I was ready for everything. If supposing you had just come from the ATM machine and you were fat with cash, great, I have equanimity, samatvam. I will say all that happens is for the best. And then on the flip side, if you catch hold of my hand when it is going into your pocket and you take me to the police, I will say, okay, samatvam. I took my chances, Does that make me a karma yogi? No. Why not? Something big is missing. How can the pickpocket be a karma yogi? It is not logical at all. And the missing piece is dharma. Dharma is a manifestation of Ishvara. It is not a mandate of Ishvara. It's a form of Ishvara. Dharma is God, not just a mandate of God. Dharma is non-separate from God. And so I can't go against God for the sake of God. That makes no sense. And so the second definition, yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Kaushalam means what? Badly translated as skill in action. That's why we have to give the pickpocket example. Pickpocket is also what? Skilled in action. Very skilled. many decades of experience of picking pockets doesn't make the fellow a karma yogi. Not at all. Because the karma yogi has to have what? Has to have Ishvara. It's not just being an ethical person. You can't just style yourself, I am Robin Hood. I steal from the rich, all right, only to give to the poor. Who asked you to do that? Did anybody ask you to do that? You're not Robin Hood. What are you? Robbing Hood. That's what you are. So therefore, you can't take these things into your own hands. Yoga karmasa kaushalam is not skill in action. It's actually the skill needed. Kushala is skill, all right, but it's not the skill in action. The skill needed in interpreting dharma for that particular time and space, and in a way how to interpret samanya dharma, the universal dharma, from the standpoint of what is to be done right now and what is to be done by me. What is my dharma here? Swadharma. So samanya dharma always reigns. Baliyan it is the strongest. And then based on that, I choose certain interpretations based on that dharma alone. That is what skill in action. It's not skill in action, it's the skill in making sure that I walk the path of dharma in and through all my actions. That is the skill here. Those two definitions of karma yoga, we'll be seeing those a little more. This is just an overview of the second chapter, because suddenly how to enter the third chapter. So those two definitions of karma yoga were given very nicely in the second chapter, and the vision was given, and then the jnani lakshana, the characteristics of a jnani, the definition of a jnani was also given at the end when Arjuna asks a question. And so in fact the whole Bhagavad Gita, the topics of the Bhagavad Gita, which are what? Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre, Brahma Vidya, which is the vision of the Upanishad, Yoga Shastra, how to grow emotionally. The teaching of Karma Yoga, both have been given. In fact, the Bhagavad Gita should have ended where? In chapter 2. But there is chapter 3. Why? Arjuna asked the question. Yeah. Arjuna asked the question. A little bit of a rude question, which he kind of covers up. A nice save, I may add. Jyayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tat kim karmani ghore maam niyojayasi keshava. Verse number 1. Vyamishrene vakyena buddhim mohayasi iva me. That iva is the save. Yeah. He saves himself by iva. Tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyaha aham apnuyam. Arjuna is confused. On the one hand, O Lord Krishna, you are praising knowledge and you are saying knowledge leads to moksha. Karma leads to samsara. Karma leads to bondage. Knowledge leads to liberation. Therefore, get up and fight. This is what Arjuna hears. What kind of a logic is this? It's like saying, here is a $10 bill. And then here is a $100 bill. All right? The $100 bill is way much more useful and worth than the $10 bill. Therefore, please take the $10 bill. This is is what Arjuna sees. This is what he can't understand. Karma binds, knowledge frees. What should I choose? Knowledge. Because what do I want? Freedom. Right now I want freedom from this horrible war, true, but I want freedom. So, what should I choose? I should choose knowledge. But here the choice is being made for me by Lord Krishna by saying, what is that? Therefore get up and fight. The whole second chapter is full of that in the latter half. Tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya yujyasva yuddhaya krita nischayah. Sukha dukhe same kritva labha labhau jaya jayau. Put this samatvam into action. Don't be affected by these opposites. Sukha, dukkha, labha, alabha, jaya, parajaya. Success, defeat, all these things. Don't get into these dyads. Transcend them all. And then what? Fight this war. Don't I also transcend the war after transcending all these concepts? How come I don't transcend the war? What is going on? And so, the answer to these two questions comprises the entirety of chapter 3. A very beautiful chapter which has some topics, and we won't do the chapter verse by verse, we will do it topic by topic. So the first topic is understanding the role of karma in one's life and how we have to be honest with the fact that one cannot be without karma. So the topic is very beautiful. First topic is the first and second verses are what? The question of Arjuna. And then from the 3rd to the 7th verse, it talks about the need for engagement in action on part of a person who's not yet prepared for knowledge. We will be seeing that. Then the second topic, let's see now, second topic from verses 8 onwards to the 20th verse, a very beautiful understanding of Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? Why should I follow Karma Yoga? What do I get out of following Karma Yoga? What are the benefits of Karma Yoga? From the 8th to the 20th verse. Karma Yoga as an act of individual responsibility. All this is covered. That's the third topic from the 8th to the 20th verse. And then from the 21st to the 27th or thereabouts, let me just make sure, from the 20th to the 27th verse, even you can say 28th verse, is the another topic of leadership. Even 29th verse we can say. Leadership. And who is a leader? The wise person, of course, is a leader. But for those who are not wise, Pujya Swamiji used to call them otherwise, for the otherwise, they also have a place in society that they have to occupy. Not occupying the space in society is really, the intended space in society is itself a violation of Karma Yoga, is a violation of Bhagavan's will. So till the 29th verse, very beautiful section is there. And then After that, we have the 30th verse is a summary of more or less what is happening. Then after that, we have the from the 30th to the 35th verse, we have the topic of how to succeed in Karma Yoga. What does a successful Karma Yogi look like? And what does a loser look like? Yes, the Bhagavad Gita is an expert in defining the loser, because when we see the definition of the loser, immediately I want to not be that. I want to be successful. I don't want to be a loser. And so therefore, this is a very interesting section. Then of course in verse 36, Arjuna asks another question in the Bhagavad Gita. I don't want to not follow Karma Yoga. I don't want to transgress Dharma. I want to follow Dharma. I want to follow Karma Yoga. But yet, why is it that people do wrong things even though they are told that this is wrong, even though they know that this is wrong? And the role of Raga and Dvesha, which comprises the psychology of the Bhagavad Gita, is further enhanced, concluding leading to this culmination that one has to conquer these raga dveshas, and then ends on 43rd verse. Ends on the 43rd verse, saying that they constitute the inner enemies that have to be taken care of. When the inner enemies are taken care of, then the outer enemies do not matter at all. And so the third chapter comes to a close on that note. As I said, we will be taking it topic by topic. And so from tomorrow we will take up the first topic, which is the Arjuna's question. We have already seen the Lord's answer to the question. How the Lord answers also is very interesting. And then how to make action a portal for coming out of doership. How to do in order to not do. Very nice. One more paradox in Vedanta Shastra. We'll be seeing that tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Arati. Those who didn't get a chance yesterday, first we can start with all of you and then the rest.